So we've done this twice before. Perhaps some of you have joined us by our cooking shows, the previous two that we did on Pesach. But now, in honor of Shavuos, we decided we're going to try it again. But this time, we're going to do a bit different. We do have our two master chefs that we hear last time. We do have them back. I'll spotlight them for a moment. We have, who's first here? Chef Moishe. Moishe Schoenfeld is our chef up at TheZone. And Uncle Mike is been a chef for many, many years on Pesach programs. He's been the chef at TheZone too for some time. So we thank all of you for joining, and we look forward. And we're going to have a very special program tonight. In honor of Shavuos, it's customary that on Shavuos we eat dairy foods. Many have the custom to eat dairy food. So tonight's menu is going to be consisting mostly of dairy foods, or at least part of non-meat. There's different customs on how to do the dairy foods throughout Shavuos. Some do an entire meal, dairy meal. Some they'll split the meal and have some dairy items, and then finish that part of the meal, wait a bit, and then have a second part of the meal completely separate with meat, obviously only after the milk. There's different ways to do it, and every custom is precious, and however you do it is just fine. There are many reasons for this custom. I'll tell you one reason that's very popular, and we can do this very, very quickly. We know that to cook, to get kosher meat, takes a much longer process. So after the Torah was given, when the Bnei Yisrael were at Har Sinai, and they stood at Mount Sinai and accepted the Torah, and that's when they learned the 613 laws and realized, oh no, my kitchen is not kosher. So now to start cooking meat products would be tremendously difficult, and it would take some time to get their kosher kitchen ready and get the meat ready. So instead, they ate dairy for a little bit until they were able to get everything ready. So, in honor of Shavuos, when we celebrate the reaccepting of the Torah, we eat some dairy food. So we got some good stuff on the menu tonight. We got cheesecake. We got burekas with mushroom sauce. We even have a salmon, not particularly dairy, but it certainly goes with a dairy meal. Blintzes, and we got some pasta too. And even for those that are having a problem with a little bit of a shortage of cream cheese, finding Chalav Yisrael cream cheese has been an issue over the last little bit. Tonight, we're going to get to learn how to make our own cream cheese. So that's fantastic. And all the recipes that are discussed here tonight will be available. They are available by email. Throughout the show, you can feel free to email cookingshow@oorah.org. That's cookingshow@oorah.org. I'll announce it another couple of times. COOKING@oorah.org. That's Oorah with two O's. OORAH.org. And we will be happy to send you those recipes. Okay. Throughout Chag, typically cooking is permitted. We certainly have to be careful not to light a fire during the holiday, but the fire is lit from before the holiday. We don't initiate a new fire, but if the fire is lit from before the holiday, it's okay to cook. However, this year, Shavuos, here in the diaspora, not in Israel, where we celebrate 2 days, Shavuos comes out to be Friday and Shabbos. So even though Shabbos is a Chag, the holiday is on Shabbos too, there's no cooking on Shabbos. Okay, we're going to be discussing, hopefully a little bit later in the program, how we are able to prepare for Shabbos properly because of the 2 days of Yom Tov, but we'll get to that a little bit later. So we're going to start, and we're going to kick this off with Chef Moishe. Chef Moishe, are you ready? You're going to have to unmute. And
okay.
You ready? Chef Moishe is going to start with cream cheese.
Yes, welcome back. Nice to see you all. I'm glad you all came back. I guess you did enjoy the first two shows that we made. So, in light that we did not have cream cheese till now, and I just went to the grocery today and I saw that you can only get 2 cream cheese per family. Well, there's 2 cream cheese per family. Nothing. You can't even make 1 cheesecake. Actually, you can make maybe 1 cheesecake, but that's it. So
maybe that's commercial size.
Well, yeah.
Not commercials.
I'm going to teach you how to make your own cream cheese. I know you guys have a lot of milk at home because all the yeshivas, everybody gives milk. You have tons of milk. But what you have to use is you have to use the whole milk. Whole milk is always better. It has more fat in it. It's going to give you out more cream cheese. You can use the low-fat milk as well, but it's not going to give you out that much cream cheese because it doesn't have enough fat. It doesn't have enough milk in it to give you the cream cheese. So what we're doing now is we put in one half gallon, 1/4 bottle into the saucepan over here. It's a little fire before it, so it's starting to get hot. And we gotta sear it from time to time so it doesn't burn. And we're gonna wait a little bit longer until it gets cooked up. It's pretty hot already. Also, you gotta be very careful. Milk, once it gets hot, it starts boiling, it can overboil. Once it overboils, it's gonna make a mess in your kitchen. You don't want that. There is places that do want to have it overboil, but we don't want to have that because we don't want to have a mess in our kitchen. So we're gonna give it another minute. It's getting hot. Getting there. It's actually very easy to make. It doesn't take long, and it actually tastes amazing. Once you'll have your own cream cheese, I don't think you'll buy cream cheese in the store ever again. So what we use is we're going to use fresh squeezed lemons. So you can also use lemon juice, already bottled. But if you use lemon juice, bottled lemon juice, you can use vinegar as well. It's going to do the exact same thing, but it's not going to give you the exact flavor. It's not going to give you the taste, the texture that you want. So what we use is we use fresh squeezed lemons, which gives you the exact texture and the flavor that you want. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in 1 teaspoon approximately at a time and mix it while we put it in. We'll give it another minute. It's still getting heated up. Another minute. It has to be like right before it boils over. Do not have it on a high flame. Once it starts boiling really hot, once it starts boiling, we're going to lower the flame, which is going to be another probably 30 seconds.
Chef Moishe.
Yes.
How did you manage? I tried some of your recipes from Pesach.
Yes.
And the scale is not liking it. How did you manage to get through Pesach without putting on weight?
That's actually a very good question. You just gotta
Who cooked
portion control.
Who cooked in your house for Pesach?
We cooked. I cooked. My wife cooked. We cooked. We basically joined the kitchen. You know what I mean? 2 chefs in the kitchen usually doesn't work, but in my house we make sure it should work.
Good for you.
Yeah. It's all portion control. As I say, the second bite is not better than the first bite. Okay, as you can see, it is starting to boil.
How many ounces of cream cheese do you think we're going to get from this?
We're going to get out about 12 ounces of cream cheese, approximately. And there is actually another method how to do it with heavy cream with half and half. But that you have to let sit in the fridge for about 6 hours or overnight and let it drain and then work it. It's a whole different process. This is a process that literally takes just a few minutes. You just got to boil up the milk. Once it boils up the milk, it's a joke to make. So this is like a really easy way to do cream cheese without having the
And according to this recipe, how many servings of cheesecake would you get from this?
This is gonna be for 1 cheesecake.
I mean, 1 cheesecake, like one person, or one cheesecake.
1 9-inch pound cheesecake.
A 9-inch pan. So I don't know. Is that considered
9-inch pound cheesecake? You'll see it.
I guess it depends on the person.
Yeah, I mean, some people will eat up the whole thing in one shot. It's delicious, but yeah.
I'll tell you. You know what? When we're done, you send me the cheesecake when you're done. I'll make that decision.
No problem. I'll make it stop and liquid.
It's a deal.
Okay, as you see, it's starting to boil already. It's starting. It's nice. It's getting like showy. I'm gonna wait another 30 seconds. I'm sorry it's taking a little too long. But we don't want it should overboil. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lower it right now. As you can see, it starts to get the bubbles on top. This is when it starts getting really hot. And if you leave it too high, this whole thing is gonna rise up and it's gonna boil over. So we're gonna lower the temperature, and we're gonna put in a little bit of the lemon juice, and we're gonna sear it for about a minute.
Raising and lowering fires on Yom Tov is permitted, by the way. If you need it for cooking, you can raise the fire as needed, lower the fire as needed. Be careful, just don't turn it off, because once you turn it off, you're not gonna be able to turn it on again.
We're gonna put in a drop more. Put in like 1 teaspoon at a time. Put in a little more. As you can see, it's starting to break. Can you see that?
Yeah, it looks cloudy.
It looks cloudy, it's starting to break. And now, you just shut it. This is good enough. Has like quartz in it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna drain this. So what you're gonna use is a cheesecloth. Cheesecloth, you can get it on Amazon, you can get it in Stop and Shop, you can get it in ShopRite, or maybe your supermarket has it as well. It's basically it's a strainer, but the beautiful thing of it is it doesn't leave any pieces in it, and it's fine mash, so it leaves the water out, but not the cheese. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour it over on it to get the sauce out. Take the corners, we're gonna pick it up, not let the cheese out. Now the finishing process depends how you want it. If you want to have a soft cream cheese, you don't drain it completely. You leave a little bit of water in it from the sauce that you're draining, so you have a softer cream cheese. If you want more stiff cream cheese, more heavy cream cheese, you squeeze it out. So we want to have a little bit more creamy because we want to have a nice creamy cheesecake out of it. So we're gonna let it drain a little bit. Just drop it into a food processor. Put a pinch of salt. Now, if you like scallion cream cheese, if you like garlic cream cheese, if you like any other spicy cream cheese, whatever cream cheese you like, you want to try out something different. You found a spice, you love it, you want to try it out the cream cheese, drop it into it. You'll have whatever cream cheese you desire. The sauce of it could be a good sauce for anything you want to have in you want to make like pasta, you can cook pasta in the sauce or whatever. It gives also a good flavor. But now you just cover it, you put it on high, you put on the blender. That between a minute to 3 minutes.
I'm back there. You got a lot of help there.
Creamy, beautiful cream cheese.
Oh, wow.
Delicious, beautiful cream cheese.
Nice.
Don't ever say I don't have cream cheese. The store doesn't have cream cheese. We don't have a problem with that. We make our own. Because if you don't have cream cheese, no problem. We have our own.
Fantastic. Really, really nice. Thank you, Chef Moishe.
Okay.
We'll be back. We'll be back with you shortly.
Well, we'll see you soon.
Yep. Don't go too far.
I'm not staying right here.
And we're going to go to Uncle Mike.
I'm here. I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Uncle Mike. Yeah, we're falling a little bit behind schedule.
Okay,
all right.
So I have to go fast. Okay, so
no, I didn't say you should go fast.
Next.
Uncle Mike, slow down.
Okay.
We were waiting. We were waiting for you.
We're making
breakfast.
First, we have puff pastry dough. And then we have, at the same time, we made the potatoes already. And the ingredients will come in when we do the recipes. We're going to have a nice mashed potato. You take 3-4 potatoes, you mash them up, boil them, mash them up. And you want to add a little bit of margarine. Now, you can make this, some of the stuff we made tonight is milchik, is dairy, so we use butter. Other things that we're doing, we use, I've made parve. So I'm using margarine. With the sauteed onions. I had sauteed them already, also to save a little bit of time. We keep it on the fire until we melt. We're going to melt in the margarine. You can turn the camera. My partner here, Yisachar, is showing it. Perfect. Once we have the margarine melted in, just like that, we're going to mix that into the potatoes with the onions, and we mix that up until we get nice creamy potatoes. We add salt to the potatoes when they're boiling, but we're going to add a little bit more salt, a little bit of pepper for flavor, and if you like garlic or onion powder, you can add that as well at this point. You can also add in some parsley flakes if you like for the color. I just leave plain mashed potatoes with sauteed onions. Before we start, I'm going to get ready for the mushroom gravies, which is going to be our next step. And we're going to use a half a stick of margarine, and we're going to slice up some mushrooms. Add that on a little bit high. Melt down the margarine. We're going to slice. This is a brand new knife. This is a Woodstock knife. It makes Henkel's, puts them to shame. It's a brand new one I got for my birthday for my kids. Thank you very much. I love it. It's a phenomenal knife.
Did you have with a tablet?
Buy a knife for this recipe. We're slicing up some mushrooms. We're going to add those into. You dice them up just a little bit, a couple extra slices, and add them into the margarine to saute. And while those are sauteing, we're going to get our puff pastry ready. So what we want to do is we'll sprinkle a little bit of flour onto a cutting board or onto the counter. And we'll lay out the pastry dough.
If you just move the camera down a bit.
Move the camera down a bit. There we go. We have squares. We're making squares. A lot of times pastry dough comes in blocks, comes in smaller pieces. I like the squares for this. It makes it a lot easier. It's pre-cut. You don't have to roll it out. And I'm just going to put them on the counter like that. I'll make about 6 of them here. Then you could use, if you have a scooper, you could use a scooper. You could use your hands. You could use a spoon. We're going to fill it up first. Take a little bit of egg, very lightly brush the pastry dough. Does 2 things. Adds a little bit of flavor, and it also keeps the dough closed when you fold it over, which we'll show you in the next step. So we don't want to brush it too heavy, just a little lightly over there. We're going to put a scoop of potato in each one of the barecas. And I've already preheated the oven to 400. We're doing 375, 400. Now, once we have the potato, it's a little bit off center, you can see. And we're going to fold it over into a triangle, carefully pushing down the sides, flattening out the potato just a bit. So we have a nice triangle.
Beautiful.
And with this also, we're going to cook it now, but you can make these weeks in advance. And just the way they are now, I'll show you at the next step, they can be frozen raw. And then when you're ready to heat them up, you just take them out, you defrost them in the fridge, and you could cook them so you don't have to prep them on the day that you want to use them. Once we have those done, we're going to brush a little bit more egg on the top, which gives it a nice color when it bakes. And an optional step after we egg them, which I like to do, is I add a little sesame seed to the top. Just a little bit of sprinkle of sesame seed to the top. Gives it a really nice look. Professional, like in the stores.
We expect nothing less from you, Uncle Mike.
And then we put it on a baking pan. I put parchment paper down. If you don't have parchment paper, you could grease the pan. And then we just put them, line them up, just like that. And what I was saying about freezing them, you could take this pan once you have it, before you bake it, you pop it in the freezer, you cover it with plastic, you put it in the freezer, and then just take it out whenever you're ready to serve it. Okay, now that we have this, we're going to put that in the oven in a moment. I'm going to show you our next step of the mushroom gravy. Here we have the mushrooms that we put into the pan before. You can see they're nice and sauteed, just a little brownish, not too done, just a little soft. The margarine is melted. We're going to add a little bit of flour, a few tablespoons of flour into the mix. What happens when you add a few tablespoons of flour, the flour soaks up the margarine and it becomes like a little bit of pasty, thick, like a very thick pasty liquid. Once that's done, we're going to add a little bit of water. The recipe that I have calls for a cup of water. That'll come to a boil, and a little bit of chicken soup base. Instead of the water, if you have soup stock, like regular chicken soup, just chicken broth, you can add that as well. This goes very quick. As soon as it boils, if you look at it nice and creamy, as it'll boil up and it'll become a little bit creamier. And you have, this is a beigeish golden color. Now, if you get
Camera's a bit high. We're not seeing the stove there.
Whoop,
There you go.
down a little. My partner
Got
over here. There you go. That's a little bit of like a golden color. And as soon as the water starts boiling up, you turn it down to a little simmer. Let it simmer just for a moment or two, and your mushroom gravy is done. If you like, which I like to do, I gotta find. They sell little jars. I don't have here. I have a big jar. Something like this. It's a gravy booster. This is smoke, but they have a little jar like that. It's called gravy booster. And what that does, when you're cooking commercially, you have a big bottle of it. Put in just a couple of drops. Because I like my gravy, instead of being a light color like that, you put in a few drops of the gravy booster. And you'll see in just a second, now I have a nice, beautiful brown.
It's just the color. It doesn't change the texture at all.
The color does not change the taste. It just makes it a little bit brown, which is nice. Some people put in soy sauce. That changes the taste. Put it back up. And that's what we have. We have our mushroom gravy. We have our barakas. I'm going to pop that into the oven, and we're going to see it all done at the next segment of the show. I'm going to go back to you.
Quick question before you run. If I wanted to do cheese barakas instead, what kind of cheese would I use?
So you could use a farmer cheese. You want something dry. You don't want to use a cottage cheese, maybe a little bit runny. So you might want to use a farmer cheese. You could use a ricotta cheese, and if you want a cheese baraka and you want a little sweeter, you could add a little bit of sugar into the mix. You can also add, depending on how much you're doing, you can add an egg or a half an egg, add a little bit of flour into the mix to
keep it whole.
If it's too liquidy, it'll ooze out and then get gunky underneath the barakas. But I think Moishe is making cheese blintzes. If he's making, I don't know for sure, if he's making them from scratch, his filling for the cheese blintzes you could definitely use, I believe so, in the filling for a cheese baraka.
Just as a word of
precaution. But if you're doing the cheese barakas, I would not do the mushroom gravy because that's more of a tangy. You want something sweet. You want more of a syrupy drizzle on the top.
That's a good point. And you certainly don't want to add the chicken stock if you're using cheese.
I would definitely not.
just putting it out there.
That's it. So Moishe made his own cream cheese. You know, the milk itself, we can go up to Oorah. We could get our own milk. We got the milk. Right. Make the milk straight into cream cheese. We don't need to go to the store.
We have the cow, so we're all done. So the whole milk we got. We're all ready to go. It would have been nice if we could have spent Shavuos up in the zone, but it wasn't meant to be for this year. So, thank you so much, Chef Moishe. We're back to you. Are you unmuted? Yeah, you're good. You're good now, Chef Moishe. So we got the cream cheese.
Like cream cheese.
Now we got the cream cheese. Now let's see the cheesecake. A whole year. I'm waiting for Shavuos a whole year for the cheesecake.
By the way, there's one thing that I forgot to tell you before about the cream cheese. What you can do with this cream cheese is you have to store it in the fridge in a tight container. But if you want to have like a grated cheese, just put it into the fridge, uncover it for about an hour, put it back into the food processor, and you'll have a nice grated cheese, perfect to put into a salad.
Oh wow!
Okay,
that's fantastic. Just a reminder, if anybody wants the recipes, feel free to email cookingshow@oorah.org. That's cookingshow@oorah.org. It will be posted on all the social media web pages, all of Oorah's and Torah Mates and Chill Zones and all the social media pages. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna make it a little quick because we're running a little bit late. So we have over here. This is the crust. The crust is basically made out of lotus cookies. So the lotus cookies, blended it, put in a half a stick of butter, blended it with it, and you just put it nicely around in the pan, and you press it down from both sides. It's nicely covered. Now we have our homemade cream cheese right over here. We got a 16-ounce sour cream that we're gonna pour it into the food processor. Make sure to empty out the whole thing. And we got some. It's all in. We're gonna put in. This is a half a cup of sugar. 3 eggs. 2 2 tablespoons of vanilla sugar. We're gonna mix it all together. Got the whole thing nicely mixed together. Pour it into the crumbs. Now, if you want to make it nice and marbleized, you want to make a nice design on top, you can do marble, you can put in regular chocolate syrup, or you can do a liquid marble, which you can get it in any store. You take a little bit of the liquid marble that I have over here, take a spoon, just run a line nicely over here, another line over here. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. Fix this line over here. Now we're going to take a stick, and we're just going to pull them up on one side, pull them back down, pull them back up. This creates a nice design of your cheesecake. So you don't have to decorate it when you come out, or you can just leave it as it is, and you decorate it. Do the decoration later. Now this goes in a 350-degree hot oven for 45 minutes, approximately.
Chef Moishe, I thought you had some help there. Where are all your helpers there?
What do you think opened the oven?
Oh, they're just hiding.
Behind the scenes. You want to put it into the middle of the oven, not on the bottom, not on top. Depends how your oven works. My oven works from the bottom and the top, so put it in the middle so it doesn't burn. Within 45 minutes, the cheesecake should be done. We'll show it to you, I believe, by the end of the show.
It sounds like it's really delicate. You really want to watch it.
Yep. You gotta be careful with it because it can crack on top. So some people put it in a bath of water. That's how they bake the cheesecake. But I find just 45 minutes in the oven. When it's done, shut the oven for 15 minutes. Don't take it out. Take it out after 15 minutes when it cools off a little bit. You have a beautiful cheesecake.
Let me make one little comment on the bath of water. If you cook the cheesecake on the top shelf and you just put any empty pan of water, a little pan of water on the lower level,
we'll do the same trick. Yeah.
Basically, you're steaming it. You're preventing it from cracking. So if you put a bit of steam in the oven, it doesn't have to actually be in a bath of water. If you have steam in the oven, you will hopefully prevent it from cracking.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Because I heard that ruining a cheesecake is ruins a Shavuos like almost like not having matzah for Pesach. It's
yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. So we're gonna move on, and we're gonna go back to Uncle Mike for salmon, and then when we get back to Chef Moishe, we're gonna want to see that cheesecake. Now, Uncle Mike, are you muted?
No, I don't know. Am I muted?
No, you're good. No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, so first thing we have.
Can I just throw out one quick thing before you start the salmon?
Sure.
Just a very quick thing, because this year Shavuos comes out on Friday and Shabbos. Now, typically we do not cook. We're not allowed to cook from one day of Yom Tov to the next day. Yom Tov we're allowed to cook but only what is needed for that day. So typically, if Shavuos would be on 2 weekdays, let's say it would be Tuesday or Wednesday, for argument's sake. Tuesday you can only cook what you need for Tuesday, and Wednesday you would be allowed to cook what you need for Wednesday. This year we have a particular issue which happens on many Chagim, that when Shavuos comes out Friday and Shabbos, obviously we cannot cook on Shabbos what we need for Shabbos, so we're going to have to cook it before. So how do we cook from Friday to Shabbos? And for that, we do an Erev Tavshilin. Erev Tavshilin is a very fancy word for really what it means is it's what our rabbis taught us how we cook. We mix all the meals together. That's what the word Erev means, to mix the meals together. And the reason why I'm mentioning this now is because the typical process for an Erev is, I'll tell you very, very quickly, is we take a matzah. Doesn't have to be a Pesach matzah. It can be any matzah. It could be a bread, a whole challah, challah roll, and a cooked food. Very often, people use a piece of fish. Salmon would be a very popular choice. Many people use an egg. If we're going to put an egg away, we have to make sure that the egg stays unpeeled. We don't peel an egg and then put it away for the next day. This is cooked. The food is cooked on Erev Yom Tif, which this year would be on Thursday. And that cooking begins the process to cooking for Shabbos. And with that, we're allowed to cook on Friday for Shabbos. There is a process, there is a bracha that is recited for this Erev. This is done on Erev Yom Tif. On this year, it comes out on Thursday. So this is done Thursday afternoon before the onset of Shavuos. We say the bracha. There's a small paragraph to say. The head of the household says it for everybody. The challah or the matzah and the cooked food, the salmon or the egg or meat, whatever you like, is put away, and that's eaten on Shabbos, typically by the third meal by Shalosh Shudas. I just mentioned that now because we're about to make the salmon. Uncle Mike, the floor is yours.
Okay. So the first thing to do when you're making a salmon is you got to go catch the salmon. So let's go catch our salmon. Because now my guys weren't very happy about losing one of their friends.
Oh, that's nice.
So he had a little bit of a friend. He's not so happy anymore because now we have our salmon all prepared. So now back to the kitchen to prepare our salmon. I took regular filet salmon with the skin on. We washed it off, we place it in a pan, separate a little bit, one piece from the next. And we're going to make a little bit of a sauce. I also chose this as a Parv sauce because it's nice to be able to possibly do it for Shabbos or a Yom Tov appetizer that you might be having a meat meal. There's mayonnaise is the base for your Parv cream sauce. And if you wanted to use, for a dill sauce rather, if you wanted to make it dairy, all you'd have to do is substitute the mayonnaise. Hellman's Real, it's the only way to go. You'd substitute the mayonnaise with sour cream. And then we're going to add some fresh chopped garlic. Little bit of sugar. If you don't want the sugar, you can add Splenda. A little bit of lemon juice. Some deli mustard.
When we say some, just
it's in my recipe. A couple of
all the recipes are there.
Yeah.
Cooking show at Oorah.org.
And fresh dill. 2 or 3 cubes of fresh dill, which I defrosted already before. And we're going to whisk that up. We'll add a little bit of salt. See, if you recall from last time, I had the zhuzher. I don't need a zhuzher for this, just a little bit of creamy mayonnaise with some mustard, gives a nice color. I can smell the dill, delicious smelling dill. And then what we're going to do is you can use a brush, you can use a spoon, you can use your hands. We're going to put it onto the salmon. Nice amount. Don't be cheap on the salmon. We want to cover it all up. First, we'll get it all covered. And we'll also let it go down the sides. This is a little liquidy, which is nice. It's fine. And once you have it going down the sides, and you're totally covered. We have a preheated oven of 425, and we're going to put that in the oven on the top shelf, uncovered, for 22 minutes. It's a number I picked out. Some people say 20 minutes, 18 minutes, 25 minutes. I use 22 minutes. It could be a little bit longer if you like it. If you like it a little firmer. If they're smaller pieces or thinner pieces or the tail pieces, you might want to go closer to 18 minutes. And that's it. That's cooking the broiled salmon with a dill sauce. And I'll wait for you to get off the phone. And Rabbi Forster is muted, and I don't think he realizes he's muted.
I realized I just had to answer.
There we go. Perfect. Okay, my segment of the gefilte fish, the salmon, is all done, and that's it. Here, you can say hello to Yisachar. He's my friendly neighbor helper, socially distant, 16 feet, sort of, and we're all good to go. Rabbi Forster.
Yes.
Next segment.
And we move on to cheese blintzes. What happened here? Wait 1 second.
That's it.
9 o'clock. 10 minutes before. And then he has the
Might be 2 minutes.
Chef Moishe. Chef Moishe.
Okay, now we're up to cheese blintzes. So the first thing we gotta make is the crepes. So we have 4 eggs. We got some sugar in it. We got 1 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of oil, a pinch of salt in it, and flour. I do have my, how's it called? He calls it the mushers, the blender, hand blender. You also do it in the food processor. I do it in the hand blender. The first thing I do is I blend the egg with the milk. And I put coffee. You don't want to have it too thick. You want to have it a little bit runny, not too thick. And on a frying pan, you heat up the frying pan. Oil spray, not too much oil on it. Let it get nice and hot. You're not gonna flip it. I'm gonna show you how to do it without flipping it.
Okay, cream cheese.
It's nice and hot now. Put in a little bit, and we're gonna roll it around so it covers the whole pot. Not too much, nice and thin. So as you can see, it's gonna change the color. You're gonna see it's gonna start cooking. The side starts cooking already.
I noticed I got a high fire there. Is that on purpose?
Yeah. You want to start on a high fire. You want the pot to be very hot, but as it goes, you're gonna lower the flame because you don't want it to burn either. But you want the pot to be very hot. Make sure the sides, once the sides comes off nicely, now what you just do, you flip it over, and that's it, it's done. So we're gonna make a few of it, and we're gonna show you how to do the filling.
Is the cheesecake anywhere near done?
I'm not looking at it. See, now this is done as well. You see it gets nice and brown on the sides. This is done. It's not wet inside anymore. You also do the same thing. You just flop it down. Done. We'll do another one. And now we have 3 done. We're gonna go do the filling. Show you how we do the filling and how to fill it up. If you make it thin enough, you don't have to flip it. If it's a thicker, if the crap is thicker, then you gotta flip it to finish the other side. But if it's thick enough, you don't have to flip it. If it's thin enough, you don't have to flip it.
Certainly will make life easier. For some reason, when I try flipping it, I get more on the counters and on the stove than in the pot.
Yep. So then
Maybe that's just me.
you don't have to. You don't have to flip it. As you can see, this is not completely done. It has a little bit wet over here. The rest of it is dry, so you wait another second. I'm gonna shut it. We're just gonna drop it down here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip it over to this side because this side is where we're gonna fill it up. So now we are gonna do the filling. The filling is basically we have over here eggs, cream cheese, and Parmesan cheese. We're gonna put in 8 ounces of sour cream. There's about half of this is sour cream. 1.5 cups of sugar. One teaspoon of vanilla sugar. And 1 instant vanilla pudding. I'm going to do a pinch of salt. Cover it.
Special shout out. I noticed my parents are watching. Shout out to my parents. I hope I didn't disappoint them. Maybe they thought I was cooking tonight. No, but we wanted the food to taste good, so I'm not cooking. Ay, ay, ay. I was waiting to see who's going to be brave enough to take out their pots and really cook along. I thought maybe on the pictures we'll see some stovetops and people trying the recipes live. Anybody daring enough?
Okay, we finally got it to mix together. And it's nice and soft. You can also put in some heavy cream a little bit to make it a little more creamy. I'm just gonna put in a little bit to make it a little more creamy. Depends how you like it. If you like it creamy, you don't like it creamy, you can also add some strawberries. You can just take frozen strawberries, blend it, and mix it into the mix and have a strawberry one. And one of the other things that I'm doing sometimes is you take some caramel, some dairy caramel sauce, and you just, sorry, it's not open yet. It's a brand new one. Used up the other one already. You just place a little bit of it, just give it a little bit of a taste. Take a little bit of the mix, drop it down nicely. Now what you're gonna do is you're just gonna fold it in from the two sides first. Then you're gonna fold it in this way, bring it back a little bit.
Is that better than just making one roll?
Now this doesn't fall out from the side.
Watch, let me do it. I'll show you it's going to fall out.
I know, that's why I'm doing it.
That's why, Rabbi Forster, you have to do the bareka, so you push down all the sides, it won't fall out.
We're gonna do the same thing over here again. We're gonna do a little bit of caramel, a few strips.
I think on our next cooking show, maybe we should do a competition. Maybe you should both do the same dish, and this way we can compare it.
Who's going to taste?
What do you mean? Who's gonna taste? Who's talking? Who's
Cooking,
talking?
tasting.
Again, you pick it up from the two sides, pick it up from the other side, pull it back, and just roll it nicely, and put it up on your plate. Put a little bit of caramel drizzle on it. You can do a little bit of strawberry drizzle. I'm gonna do a little bit of strawberry drizzle on it. And you got beautiful Blintzes.
That's gorgeous. It doesn't get cooked again?
Nope, that's it. Now you can freeze it. You can freeze it, and if you want to warm it up, you can put it into a frying pan and fry it a little bit from the two sides. But this is ready to eat.
Beautiful. Fantastic. All right. Thank you so much, Chef Moishe. We're going to go back to Uncle Mike.
I'm here and waiting for you.
There we go. And I hear you have some pasta for us.
I do. So what we started off with, we're going to do a Penne Alla vodka.
Oh, it smells good already.
And I'm not going to talk about Alla. We're just going to talk about Penne vodka. So I prepared the penne already earlier. So you're not cooking and whatever and waiting for me on the show to start boiling up pasta. I have it all prepared. Anytime you prepare pasta in advance, cool it off, drain it, wash it, let it strain out so there's no water. You can put it in a pan, then add a couple of tablespoons of oil and mix it up. That will prevent it from sticking. I did this hours ago, and as you can see, totally loose, perfect. And we're going to make the penne alla vodka sauce. We start off with some tomato sauce. We use a 15-ounce can or 2 smaller cans of the 16-ounce. And with this, there aren't too many steps. You can put everything in together. We have heavy cream, which you saw from the last recipe, same idea. We're going to put in a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. We're going to put in some butter, nice spoonful of butter. Allow that to all melt in. And some garlic. Heaping teaspoon or a tablespoon of garlic. And we have some basil. You could use the fresh basil. I happen to have the dry basil. I didn't defrost the fresh one, so I'm going to just use a little bit of dry basil. And we're going to mix that all up together. Where's my whiskers? We mix that up. Once we mix, the butter is going to melt slowly. It's going to turn from from the tomato sauce to a nice pinkish color.
And you just move the camera down a bit. There you go.
Once it's hot, just before it's boiling, we get to the best part. The vodka. Hence the name, Penne alla Vodka.
Oh, the vodka. I thought it was the eating part. Okay, I'll take the vodka too.
Never drink alone. You're pouring about 1/4 cup of vodka. With this measurement, doesn't hurt if you over-exaggerate a little bit. And we're going to let that sit a little bit. It has to cook out. Anytime you're cooking with alcohol or wine or beer or vodka, hard liquor in any of the recipes, as long as it cooks out a little bit, once it boils and it simmers just a touch and it starts boiling out, the alcohol dissipates. And there's no alcohol content that will be left in the sauce itself. While that's simmering, I'm going to go into our next pasta, which is fettuccine alfredo. Now, there are different types of pasta, and any of these pastas, you don't have to use the pasta coleslaw. You don't have to use penne for penne alla vodka. If you like macaroni, help yourself. This I actually use for the fettuccine. I use linguine because it's a little thinner cut. I like the linguine a little better. I did the same thing. I boiled it up before, added a little bit of oil, and you see how non-stick that is. It comes out beautiful. And we're going to put in our pot a little bit of butter. This one is going to be a similar start to the way we did the mushroom gravy before. Whereas instead of the margarine, I'm going to melt butter. And we're going to add a little flour to it. We're going to add a little bit of garlic. And I happen to like mushrooms in my penne alla vodka, so I'm going to add some mushrooms as well. And for this one, I'm going to use canned mushrooms. I'm just doing that just to show you. It really doesn't make a difference for this one. If you like fresh mushrooms, which I do, you use those and do it the same way. Let them boil out. When you're using the canned mushrooms, you do not have to let it boil out. I do not have to let it saute. As long as it gets hot, then we're okay. And I'm going to add a little bit more butter. It is a little dry, but it'll soften up. You see that? There we go. We have just the mushrooms, a little garlic, and the butter. And I'm going to add a touch of flour as well. Not quite as much. It depends how much liquid is in there with how much butter you're going to add. And I just want to dry it up just a little bit, just to get it a little pasty. Make sure the flour is not clumpy. Make sure the flour is dissolved in the liquid. We're going to add a cup of milk. A 1/2 cup of heavy cream. And about a half a cup of cream cheese. Just like Chef Moishe, I made this cream cheese myself. Aisle 7 in the refrigerated department in the supermarket. About a half a cup of cream cheese. As you can see, I didn't measure that. It's just a rough guesstimate. And we're going to allow that to soften up and to cook. What happens is when the flour cooks up, it thickens up the sauce. Thickening up the sauce, what you're actually doing is making a roux, it's called. Many people have heard of a roux. A roux is a thickening agent. It's basically flour and oil. I'll give you a little example. We take flour, and this can be any type of gravy, a sauce, a soup even that you want to thicken up. You make pepper steak, and you want to thicken it up. You want to thicken up the gravy, and you don't want to use cornstarch, or you used cornstarch, it wasn't enough. You want to thicken it up a little more. Anything you want to do, take some flour.
Is flour better than breadcrumbs?
And this is a totally different process. This is not calling for. We're not thickening up. We're not like coating it. What we're doing is, as I said, we're making what's called a roux, which is a flour and oil mixture.
I said, would breadcrumbs ever be used to thicken something?
No.
Never.
Not in this application. No, breadcrumbs will soak up water. Like if you want to put breadcrumbs in a souffle, in a kugel, so there's too much liquid in it and it solidifies it. That's as you're baking it, the breadcrumbs will soak it up and help that. This, as it's called, is a roux. What you're doing is you basically it's a heavy, almost like syrup. It could be a little bit thicker, but as long as the flour is dissolved, you're going to add that to anything. You could add that to boiling water. You could add it to a soup. You can add it to a pepper steak sauce, a sesame chicken sauce. As long as it's hot, simmering, you pour this in slowly. A little bit goes a long way. A small amount will thicken up a large amount. Cornstarch, you have to mix with cold water. I hear the timer for my salmon, so we're going to take a 1-minute hafsaka. Whoa, baby, does that look beautiful? Yes, I'll give you all a chance to see. Here's the salmon coming out of the oven. Beautiful, a little bit brown, golden brown on the top. Firm to the touch. If you want to touch it to feel, make sure it's not mushy on the sides. Beautiful, delicious. The leftover sauce that we had from before, when you serve it, you could serve that hot or cold. Hot would make a nice sauce. You could put a little bit of drizzle of the leftover dill sauce from before. You could put it on the side. You could put it on the top. Drizzle it over. You could put it in a bowl on the table that people can kind of use as a dip as they need. Works however you like it to work. Okay, now I was in the middle of the roux. So that's the flour roux. The flour goes with oil. Cornstarch, when you're using cornstarch to thicken something up, you have to mix the cornstarch with cold water to get also a pasty type of thick consistency. You're not adding, if it's not totally dissolved, it will clump up. And let me tell you the story. One of the first weeks that I was on the job working with a chef, he was trying to help me out, and I was trying to prove myself, and he was leaving, and he had this huge pot of gravy on the stove. He told me, add the cornstarch. He had a box of cornstarch left on the side. Told me, add the cornstarch when it starts to boil to thicken it up. I thought I knew everything. When it's boiling up, I dumped the whole box of cornstarch into this huge pot of gravy. And I spent the next 3 hours picking out all the little pieces. I couldn't let him down to say, oh, it was no good. I didn't want him to see it. Then I read the side instructions of the box on the next box, figured out how to do it correctly. But anyway, that's the cornstarch story. Here is our Penne Alla vodka sauce. Beautiful, beautiful pink, perfect consistency. I'm going to taste it just to make sure. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. And what we'll do is we take there are a few different ways. You could take your penne, and you could just pour some over the top, as in a bowl at a time. Give it a little bit of toss if you like. You can add some parsley flakes to the top. You want to heat the pasta before you do it. If you're making a whole pound with the recipe, lift it up a little bit so they can see. They want to see me. They don't want to see the food. They lift up. You can add the whole pound to the sauce that I made. That's for about a pound of pasta, and you allow that to heat up, and you have a perfect penne alla vodka. Now, going to our fettuccine alfredo. Here is where we were up to before. So we're looking at the gravy, at the sauce, and you take a look at the fettuccine sauce. Different consistencies. Now, if I wanted to thicken this up a little, right now I think it's perfect, nice consistency. It's a little thin, little runny, which for me, that's the way I like it. The mushrooms add a delicious flavor, and as I said before, if you don't like the mushrooms, you can leave those out. And we can do the same thing. Take a bowl, take some fettuccine, linguine like I have, and we're going to pour right on top. There you have it. And again, you would heat it up a little bit more. The amount that I made that's going to be included in the recipe card should be for a pound of pasta. You can make more, you can make less. You can make, like I said, the pasta earlier. You can make the sauce earlier and then heat it up. But when you heat it up on a low flame.
Right. Are you going to really make us all jealous like that?
Whoa, was that good? I think I could bring some to Mrs. Schifrin tomorrow. She'll be up in camp. I'm going up there if there's any left, but I don't think so. Really delicious.
You're kidding? From a portion that size, I wouldn't have any left by tomorrow.
Make a trip to Lakewood within the next hour or two. If your sucker leaves you over any, there'll be some left. I forgot to shout out to all my kids watching in Florida, Aaron and Reza, Arya and Gitti, Ayala, Eliana, my new baby granddaughter, Kaylee.
Oh, nice.
Josh and Svi over here in Lakewood with Moshe and Shia. Hopefully, Bez Hashem, everybody tests negative. Maybe we'll get together very soon, I hope. Now, before I leave, I have to show you. Sucker, turn the camera around over here. Look at the barekas came out of the oven.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
See, beautiful golden brown. Perfect. I could freeze them. Before we said you could freeze them raw. You can freeze them like that as well. Just when you heat them up, you want to heat them up uncovered so it stays nice and crispy on top. I think that's it. Did I have anything else that I forgot about?
Thank you so much. No, thank you so much.
I'll wave my hands if I forgot something that's important that I have to tell you.
All right. You know how to get in touch with me.
Goodbye. That's right.
All right. I know we are running a bit late, but we can't leave before we get a dessert. So, Chef Moishe, what do we got for us for dessert?
Okay, first of all, Uncle Mike, just send regards to Mrs. Schifrin when you're out there in camp. And if you want to take anything, you can make a stop on the way.
Can I ask you guys for a favor? Until we know for sure 100% that camp is opening, can we not talk about it?
The camp is opening. What do you mean? You gotta stay positive.
I sure hope so.
For sure.
I sure hope so. But
it's opening. It's opening.
If you make me dream too high,
Okay. I'm not gonna talk about it. No problem. Okay, we're gonna make it quick. We're gonna do like an ambrosia style strawberry drink. So we have some heavy cream right over here.
What are we making here?
It's a strawberry cream drink for dessert.
Strawberry cream drink. Oh wow.
So this drink you can technically use it as an entree as well. If you add cream cheese, it's gonna come a little heavier. And you can put it in a nice small cup. with a little whipped cream and whatever, make a nice design on it, some strawberries, some caramel, whatever you want to put on it. And it's nice for an entree as well. But we are doing it now, we're doing it for the dessert because we're basically by the end of the meal. So we got a half a cup of heavy cream. We got 1.5 cups of sugar, and we're gonna have some sour cream in it. And a half a cup of, forgot the one you got.
Good.
About 2 cups of milk. Then go.
That's my opinion. You want to drink? Thank you for your help.
And I'm gonna take my house Uncle Mike called it, my musher, the blender,
Zhuzher.
the zhuzher.
Goldfeder.
Just don't try Googling that. I don't think you're going to find it.
That looks so good. Moishe, I'll trade you a bowl of Penne Alla Vodka.
Okay, no problem. What time are you leaving Lakewood tomorrow? Maybe I'll still catch you in Lakewood and pass you by Lakewood tomorrow.
I heard that my son-in-law just texted me. My son-in-law Tzvi just texted me that in Lakewood, he calls, I don't know, he got the name, he calls it a Vrooper. Because he goes, Vroop.
All right. Besides all the nicknames, does anybody know what this thing is really called?
An immersion blender.
All right. That's simple enough.
And a little more heavy cream. A little heavier. Oh, one thing I did forget to put in, I know I forgot something, is my orange juice. 1 cup of orange juice. Okay. I'm going to fill up this cup nicely. Strawberry drink. A little more on it. Put some whipped cream on top of it. Some small pieces of strawberry on it. And that's our
Shavuos dinner, meal, delicious.
yep. You put in a nice
wow.
paper straw. Make sure you put a paper straw, not a plastic straw. Save the environment. And yeah, that's
It looks great. It looks great. So we got 4 meals. Well, I guess potentially 5 meals over Shavuos. I think we have enough to last us enough recipes to last us a whole yantiv. Beautiful.
Especially if you're making prime rib for 3 out of 4 of the meals, then you know.
Anyway, to chefs, thank you so much. You don't disappoint.
By the way,
Pasty, excellent. Thank you so much for narrating.
Are you kidding? You guys, that's the easy part. One day I'm going to try cooking, but that wouldn't work. Skip that.
That'll be fun.
Forget it. Thank you so much, and thank you
thank
everybody.
you, Rabbi Forster. Our cheesecake is done. We're just gonna keep it in the oven. So this is our cheesecake.
Oh, that's nice.
There you go. This is our cheesecake.
I like your pot holder. It's the same one I use. We got it.
That's why we have a yarmulke, right?
Very nice.
By the way, if I hope Robert Forster, we can get the recipe cards from Pesach. If anybody wants it, you can use it also not in Pesach.
Yes. All the recipes are available. The ones from the cooking shows we did, the 2 shows we did during Pesach, and from the one from tonight, they're all available. They will be on the Pesach ones are already on Facebook and Instagram. The tonight's will be up. If it's not up yet, it will be up soon. But they're all available by email, cookingshow@oorah.org. That's cooking show at Oorah.org. Send in your request, and hopefully before the end of tonight, we will we'll get back to you with all the recipes that you want. Thank you so much, chefs. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for joining.